Newsflash, no matter what our internal voices are telling us, all women are smart. But it's just as factual that at one time or another, we will make bad money choices. And no, this is not because we're bad with numbers or stupid. It's because our brains are programmed to do so. Take a look at this video and find out what behavioral experts highlight as the 5 programs we have running that cause us to make disempowering money decisions. And so when next time they pop up, you can still be money savvy. Hi there. We are going to take a look at 5 distinct programs that behavioral economists have identified as running in our brains at any one point in time that causes us to take bad money decisions. And the first program is called mental accounting. And this is one of the strongest drivers of our bad financial decisions. And it rests on how we treat money differently depending on the source it came from or the label we've given it. Richard Thaler, a professor of economics at the University of Chicago, came up with this concept of mental accounting and gives a number of examples. Where we've received a bonus or unexpected cash flow that we've labeled as easy money, we're more inclined to splurge it rather than use it to pay down debt or to start a savings account. Where we've received money by way of inheritance, we tend to label that with sentimental values. And so we're very scared about losing that, and we're more disinclined to invest it or take other actions that may potentially lead it to grow or even to be lost. So why do we take these seemingly irrational money actions? Well, it's simply because we have given the same money a different value depending on its source. And this is very, very much driven by our own mental biases. The second program is called herd behavior. A key driver for us as humans is to want to stay in the protective familiarity of the herd. We fear being excluded, missing out, or even taking a different choice that turns out wrong. And so this drives our deep desire to rely on the choice of the masses and to follow the masses as opposed to applying our own rational analysis. So this behavior is notorious for creating these wild swings in the stock market. Sound familiar to you? Without any real changes in the fundamentals to support them. The third program is anchoring. And this is our tendency to lock onto the information that resonates with us. In the context of money, we often fall for clever marketing tactics where the advertiser quotes an initial high price for the item, and then we affix this in our brains as the measuring point, and then they surprise us with a one-time special offer. We then compare that to the original price rather than validating that this offer is in fact special by checking external sources. I realized I was making this mistake every time I was doing my grocery shopping. I would see the original price and then the markdown price and think, bargain, buy, until I realized that Google was my friend. And when I Googled it, I realized the markdown price was the price that everybody was actually originally charging. So this also raises its stealthy head when we see an item we had absolutely no intention of buying. Price, original, £100, marked down to £50, and we think, wow, I can save £50 by buying that item, and we end up buying it and patting ourselves on the back for saving so much money. But the fact is, we just lost £50 we didn't intend to spend. More dangerously though, this can impact our big purchasing decisions, such as buying a house or a car. We tend to lock onto the current monthly payment as the benchmark for affordability. And we don't consider the all-in cost we are going to end up paying by having to pay that additional interest. In addition, we don't consider what would happen if interest rate rises and that monthly cost becomes more expensive for us. The fourth program, and it's one I think that we do need to have a little of to have a happy life, is being over-optimistic. Yes, there are those who will be the glass half full pessimists, but the general population is naturally optimistic, and especially when it comes to our future and our tendency to put on the rose-tinted glasses when looking towards it. The only problem with this is it makes us a little less likely to think that risks or bad things will happen to us. And so it undermines our ability to save for our future selves, as we believe from our optimistic state that everything will be okay or work out at some point. And furthermore, we don't consider insurance worthwhile or that we're exposed to risks because it will never happen to us. We're optimistic. The fifth program is the biggest barrier to us saving for the future us, and it is our present value focus. We overweight the present and we find it much easier to assign a value to it, and this reinforces our tendency to want instant gratification now. We find it difficult to step into the future as it's far less tangible and meaningful to us now. This further undermines our ability to take actions which may take away from our present situation to give to our future. For example, we find it very difficult to put some money aside for our future retirement, especially when we are younger. And it's when we are younger and the retirement seems so far in the distant future that is the best time to start saving for that period. Now, these concepts don't seem like rocket science. So why is it so difficult to change our money behaviors? Well, our brains simplistically are divided into two levels. And the first, unconscious automatic level, is where most of what we do happens. The conscious reasoning level, for the most part, is totally unconscious of what's happening in the first level. And the first level is very good at simplifying our responses by creating habits. And once these habits are part of our mental operating system, they are extremely difficult to identify, being unconscious and all, and as a result are extremely difficult to challenge. So let's take a look at how we can change those old money habits. An article by Carolyn O'Hara in Forbes magazine compared our brains to software created by Microsoft. Now, the Microsoft engineers were all about efficiency, and they didn't start rebuilding our brains from scratch to adapt to the new environment we live in. As a result, they left our old prehistoric fight, flight, and scarcity operating system, and they simply slotted in the new operating system on top. And as a result, we are to some extent stuck with our old reactions and responses. Now, she goes on further to relate these two levels of our brain to that of an elephant and its rider. The elephant is that old operating system, and the rider is the new software. So the thing is, the rider will go nowhere unless he can get the elephant to move in the direction he wants to go in. So he basically has to motivate the elephant to want to take action. And so he can do this by speaking directly to the elephant's reward center. And this is where the rational part of our brain can really come into its own, as it can tap into its creativity and start to visualize and imagine this amazing goal. So our elephant brains can't distinguish between emotions based on fact and those created by visioning. And to the elephant, if it feels so, it is so. So if you create a rich, vivid image of what you want to achieve in the future, this excites and inspires the elephant, who starts to shift their habits through its ability to start recognizing that those aren't all supportive of achieving this vision. Beware though, the elephant is easily bored and distracted, and it's important to keep that vision a living, breathing reality. And this means setting some exciting short-term goals that can be achieved and that can keep on inspiring that elephant. So pop on down to the show notes below and take the financial intelligence quiz to see if your upgraded Microsoft software is winning. If you liked this video, please let me know by hitting like. Please share it with any other ladies you know who want to change their financial story. And for more financial education and money talk directed to women, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. It's been fantastic chatting to you, and I look forward to speaking some more in future.